I just want to share something that God's been dealing with me the past week. The last night before service, I think Wesley said, "Man, this is the last night. They're going to bring out all the hits," and they really did. The service was great. The worship was fantastic. But I sat back and I thought about, it was all emotional. I've been to several of these things, and the emotion is just so amped up, and you really think about, what is this going to do to me later? It's after the emotion's gone. Am I going to make a choice every day that this is what I need to do every day, not just the emotions? And so that's why I've been a lot of obviously has changed in my life the past several months, and I thought about, this needs to be my decision every day, that I'm going to do this. I'm going to worship, even though not everyone's going to be worshiping. I need to worship as a choice and not just my emotions. That's all I have.
I just want to say I'm grateful to be back at Oak Park because to be a part of the youth group, the fact that they just worship and not have a problem with it. The other churches that I went to, the young kids, we would just sit on a pew and not do nothing. I'm just honored to be back here. But when we went to Indianapolis, one of the preachers who were preaching, I'm not sure his name, but he was like, he sacrificed something, and he used to play basketball and all of this. He had best friends in the NBA, and he sacrificed that to, getting a regular job just to be greater in God, to find his calling. So I was just sitting, I'm like, sacrifice? What can I sacrifice? Like, I don't love nothing that much. So then I thought, and I was like, okay, makeup. Now, it compared to what he said, because he was like, he got a lower job, and I'm like, I make money doing makeup, good money, and I'm like, I can't not stop doing that. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try that. And I found myself like, I used to wear makeup every single day. Like, I love that. I do makeup when I go back to Mississippi and all of that. And so when I made the post on Facebook telling everyone that, okay, I'm going to stop doing makeup, just to be greater in God. Some may understand, some may not. So I was getting phone calls, text messages, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Why would you stop doing that? And somebody said he gave you that gift. And I'm like, no, that's a talent. I don't want my talent to stop me from getting my calling. So that's what I did, and I just found myself growing in God. Even just little things. I used to be like, I can't just not wear makeup, no earrings, all of this. I applaud everyone who was doing it. I'm like, I can't do that. But I found myself not knowing that I was doing it. But I was like, oh, look at here. I'm doing all of this. So I'm just very grateful. And I look forward to the future to see what happens in my life.
So I'm going to talk about Thursday night. We were able to sit with the young people during the day service, and watching them worship withholding nothing was amazing. And then my group, we were worshiping, but I couldn't get past watching y'all just prostrate yourself. I heard that word a lot. It means just to surrender yourself to God. And I was so amazed. It was beautiful. I kept using the word beautiful, beautiful. And me and Lexi and Michael were talking about it at lunch that day. And Michael said something. He was like, just because you see them do that does not mean that you can't do it yourself. It's fear. It's a block. And then he said, we don't worship like that at Oak Park. And I'll be the first one to say, but there's some times where I just don't want to be here. There's distractions going on. There's just things that constantly just play through my mind over and over, and it's hard to worship. And Michael's like, you can't let that get to y'all. Y'all can't let that get to y'all. Our church, we have an amazing church, but sometimes we let things get to us, and we let the mental blocks of the world get to us. And because of y'all, Wednesday night, oh my God, that was I mean, we were all worshiping, but we were not all of us were in God's will like y'all were. And I got convicted of that. Because y'all look up to us. We look up to our older saints. And I'm like, why am I settling for less when y'all were giving it all? And it was funny, Eamon gave me a scripture, something that I've been, struggling with. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I shouldn't fear anything. God's given this to me. The Lord is my strength of my light. I will not be afraid. And that kept playing Thursday night. I was like, God, what is it? Why can't I get focused? I mean, I was worshiping, and it was also because of height. I mean, when you're in a crowd of 34,000 people plus, it's electrifying. So you do things you normally wouldn't do. And then Michael pulled us aside yet again, and he brought up Samson. God gave Samson amazing strength. Amazing strength. But he let distractions and fear and things around him stop him from doing what God wanted. And he waited till the end of his life to show people that God gave him this. Michael's like, you don't want to be at the end of your life and do what God has for you to do. And Thursday night, I made a promise to myself, no matter what happens, I will worship God, withholding nothing, because He deserves more than I can give. He deserves more than you can give Him. And I'm telling you, it's been a struggle to stay focused, but I made a vow to God Thursday night. I will not give you anything that's not worth it. It's not a sacrifice. I will give you more than what I can give you personally. And I just want to encourage y'all in our congregation, don't settle for less. There is greater for this church. There is greater for me. There is greater for y'all. And our church needs y'all. Our church needs our group. Our church needs everybody.
Well, good morning. So I'm just going to piggyback off of everything everybody said here this morning. The first night that we were there, I think his name was Michael, he spoke, and what he spoke about really touched me. It really moved me in a way that I can't be the same anymore. On the first night, he spoke about, what if fear wasn't a factor? How far could we push our faith, the limits of our faith? And so when I think about that and I reflect on that, it's true. What if fear was truly not a factor? How could that touch our lives?
Yeah.
I think about, the sacrifices that Samara is doing. She's not allowing that fear to move her, but she is pushing the limits of her faith, knowing that God is going to do what He's promised to her. Same thing with what the first Jared spoke about was, that fear is not going to be a factor in his life because he's going to go and preach the word. That he's not going to allow the enemy to push him back and not allow anything that the enemy is trying to put in his life. Same thing with Anna, she was saying how, we can't settle for less, but don't let fear impact you. Push the limits of your faith. And that's what I want to do, and that's what really spoke to me, is that I want to push the limits of my faith. I no longer want fear to impact me.
Praise the Lord. If we could all stand.